you've ever seen this bell and you know where Anoka, Minnesota is, well, you know where Clay Target Legends has landed. Steve and Phil are going to tell us more.
Thank you, Matt. I'm Steve Ellinger, and along with Phil Murray, we are here today on Clay Target Legends, and we have a great guest here, Mr. J.J. Reich with Federal Ammunition. Welcome.
Thank you.
So we're going to start a little bit about the history of Federal, and we were talking earlier about some things I did not know about ball bearings and BBs.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Yes. So I've been with Federal about 15 years, and one of the things that we did when we celebrated our 100th anniversary was create a history book, and I was really involved with that. And one of the most surprising things that I learned was that Federal's start had a lot to do with BBs and BB guns. And that is because our president, Mr. Charles Horn, he worked for American Ball Company, and he found some teenagers rooting around back, going through the dumpsters trying to find things, and he asked them what they were doing, and they said we were looking for ball bearings for our BB guns, and that kind of gave him an idea that he could sell some of these ball bearings as ammunition for BB guns. So he started developing. He actually personally created an idea for a paper tube that you could store BBs in. If people remember, BBs from BB guns came in paper tubes, back in the day. And he knew that there was a defunct factory up in Anoka, Minnesota, that had all this paper tube machinery that they used to build shot shells with. And so he contacted them to get the machinery to make paper tubes, and then he designed his own paper cap that would go on top. And he went there to buy that machinery, but while he was there, he kind of got talked into buying the entire thing. So he was a businessman out of Minneapolis. He got some other folks involved with getting the money, and he bought the factory. So he got his machinery, but he also got the whole factory.
He came in looking for paper tubes for BBs and wound up buying a shotgun shell manufacturing, which has now become one of the leading ammunition producers in the world.
Yes, and so then when he incorporated the company in April of 1922, and the rest is history. Federal, as it is today, all became from that.
Yeah. And of course, Phil, you and Federal go back a long way. What are some of your earliest memories of the history of Federal? Maybe as a boy growing up, or is your remarkable career as a Clay Target legend?
I think most of all, I think that they've always been customer friendly, and that was one of the things that, as a young kid, when I first started shooting and all that, they were there. They were there when you went to a skeet or trap shoot. Sporting Clays wasn't quite on the spot at that moment, but they would be there. They helped the young shooters. They helped all the shooters. The unique part about Federal in their ammunition that we found was that they weren't afraid to do things out there within the industry, like they'd go from a champion shell maybe to a different type of thing, but they were always they were experimenting to do what's best for the shooters, and that was always a key factor out there. And like I say, the way they handled the shooters and all that, whether their niche was in trap shooting in the early days and things like that. Now they're strong in Sporting Clays and also in the international skeet, like with Vince Hancock and the other Olympic kids with USA Shooting. But the beauty of it, that Federal's always been a carrying company as far as I was concerned.
Yeah, and in addition to the assumed excellent ballistics and product development and that sort of thing, their care of the shooting industry and their support of the shooters has been second to none.
Well, their products have been first class. And the beauty of it, many world champions utilize the product, and that's the thing. That's your real true indicator of the quality of something, when you've got somebody like a Vince Hancock winning 4 and 5 gold medals, and some of the trap shooters and things like that winning Grand American Championships. That's you can't get any better than that.
So JJ, walking into the facility this morning, there's a sign out there that said the mission of Federal is to do what?
To build better ammunition in America, to power defense, and to support our hunting heritage.
So is there a lot of still continued support of the Defense Department by Federal?
Oh, definitely. Yep. We have some contracts and whatnot.
Well, one of the things I noticed coming in and walking through the facility are the employees of the quarter and of the month and that sort of thing. And just looking at some of your employees, that they look happy, like they're having a good time.
Yeah.
And then we went into the company store, which is available for employees. And I think that's just great. You know, I've heard businesses say that their employees are their best asset. And it looks to me like you folks have a handle on that.
Yeah, a lot of the employees here are big into hunting and fishing, but also sport shooting. We have a lot of really talented folks that shoot sporting clays and trap. And then, you know, a lot of folks are also doing the IPSC and the pistol competitions and things like that. A lot of the folks that work here are into it, and they do the activities that we are building ammunition for.
I think one of the most important things that you know we need to bring up is the fact that Federal is one of the biggest supporters of the shooting sports, and the things that they've done for skeet trap, the clay target games, rifle, pistol, and all those are things that we all as shooters really need to appreciate, and you know, say thank you to you guys for what you've done and what you continue to do.
Yeah, and that's been part of our DNA since day one. Charles Horn was huge into 4-H and a lot of clubs like that really helped out. I mean, he donated a lot to 4-H in 30s, 40s, 50s, and we just continue to do that. We send out lots of press releases even today about our involvement with shooting sports and all that.
That brings up the name of a gentleman, Bill Stevens.
Yes.
That was here with Federal for many years. He was responsible for the youth shooting, and what Federal, they got behind Bill, and what they did for clay target shooting and bringing youth into the game was legendary. And they truly, you know, the way we look at it, Federal is a clay target legend.
Yeah. And we still do that today. We have Mr. John Zinno who leads that effort, and he does a phenomenal job. And it's just really cool to really keep that history going.
Absolutely.
Well, before we turn it back over to Matt, JJ, I want to say thank you for being here. Again, I'm Steve Ellinger, along with Phil Murray, and this has been Clay Target Legends.
On our tour of the Federal Ammunition Plant, they brought us into one of the original buildings that used to make the ammunition. Now it's a historical part of their workforce. Behind me is an old picture of one of their machine shops, which is really interesting to see the belt and pulleys that powered those machines. I'm Matt Smith of Clay Target Legends. We ask that you please visit our sponsors and also to hit that subscribe and like button to make these videos possible.